And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the Meadows in Balgowan. It's a glorious Midlands day, and this is the pièce de résistance. Michaelhouse firsts against Glenwood firsts. We're looking forward to a tremendous contest. The first two games that we've seen have gone one each, with Michaelhouse winning the seconds by 17 points to 7 and Glenwood winning the under-16As by 22 points to 19. From that you can see that it's been very close indeed. Andrew Duncan's alongside me. You called the seconds game a great game of rugby.
It was indeed, Andy. Thanks for having me here in the commentary booth. The second team game was certainly a ding-dong affair. It was a tight game, mostly a defensive game. Both teams are struggling to break the line, but it was a tight cagey affair nonetheless, and Michaelhouse running away 17-10 victors at the end. So, as we see the team sheets here for Michaelhouse.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Alex Vermeulen at the back will captain them, and there's some really good players in that side. Look out for Fortune Mpofu, the 8th man, who's very quick off the mark, and look out also for Max Ray at tight head prop. I'm going to tell you something very interesting about Max Ray during the course of the commentary, so don't miss out. Head coach, well, there's a few of them, but I'm absolutely delighted to see here today Patrick Siliers, former Michaelhouse and Springbok tight head prop. He's back in the country and he'll be running an eye over Max Ray amongst others. Jaden van der Merwe is the vice captain, and they're on the back of 3 wins in a row, with a 35 against Clifton, a 26-24 against Kersney, and 17-10 against Westville. As for Glenwood, well, Glenwood, the Green Machine, are always a very impressive outfit. Look out, though, for number 13, Ryan Manuel, a quality player. And 2 players have already been signed by the Sharks, the scrum half Christian Else and the loose-head prop Patu Kenyani, and the coach is telling me that they are very high-quality players, so we look forward to seeing how they go today. And what do you expect from a Glenwood first team? We expect big boys who carry the ball aggressively across the game line, and every now and then they'll have a will-o'-the-wisp in the back line as well.
Absolutely. Glenwood, the Green Machine, a high-profile rugby school in KZN. However, travelling up the hill to Balgowan is never easy, Andy. And Michaelhouse, as you say, on the run of 3 straight wins, so they'll be pretty confident going to this clash. But Glenwood will certainly be looking to upset them on their home turf at Meadows.
And let's just put it into perspective from an all-time perspective. These two sides played 86. Michaelhouse have won 48. And Glenwood have won 36. Now, you go back to the days before 1960, and Michaelhouse tended to be the stronger of the two. 2 draws, and the biggest ever win for Michaelhouse over Glenwood was on this day 87 years ago. They won 41 points to 3. Well, Glenwood, for their part, as they take the field, led out by their captain Marcel Duprier, the last time that they met Michaelhouse was their biggest win, 54 points to 5. So you would expect Glenwood to be the favourites in this contest, but the way that things have gone since the end of lockdown, and let's hope this isn't the last game for quite some time, Michaelhouse look to have a really good team spirit amongst all of the teams, and if they play at the top of their game today, they might just be able to hold Glenwood.
I've been very impressed with Michaelhouse's structures, Andy. They're very quick to the breakdown. They're never isolated. There's someone on the guy's back every time, and because of that, they get phase after phase after phase. Their continuity with the ball is very impressive. So let's see if that trend continues into their first team game, because it'll be tough for Glenwood to contest with that.
So we're just waiting for the Michaelhouse side to take the field. I look over my shoulder, I can't see them. Maybe they've gone home. I don't think so. What a glorious day it is in the KZN Midlands. There is not a trace of chill in the air, and we're quite elevated where we are commentating for you today. And autumn in the Midlands and the beginning of winter, wonderful times. Alex Vermeulen leading the first team of Michaelhouse onto the field. Behind him, the vice-captain, Jaden van der Merwe. Watch out for him during the game. He has an ambition to go professional as a rugby player.
Well, Michaelhouse playing in the traditional red and white hooped jerseys, and Glenwood, the green machine. Well, the name says it all, Andy, in the green and white shorts.
Director of rugby for them, Derek Heiberg, who went to Bergfleet High School, strength and conditioning coach for many teams, and so you'd expect that to be a high priority for this side.
Absolutely. Teams will be highly conditioned after an entire year, almost a year of no rugby last year, so I'm sure they spend lots of time focusing on conditioning.
Our referee today is Kevin Wood. He's a agricultural consultant from Hilton, just down the road. And there's Paul Mackay going to the far side. He was the referee in the under-16 game. And the referee for the seconds game is running the other touchline. So we're ready to go. This is Leiron Milborough starting the game for Glenwood, playing from right to left on your screens. Oh, and that's a straightaway, a schoolboy error, dare I say. Ball coming forward into the hands of one of his own players, penalty.
Absolutely, Andy. The restart, or the kickoff, so to speak, a very underrated part of the game of rugby. It is highly important to make sure that you catch that ball and you exit well. Now Michaelhouse already under the pump from a silly error that should not have been an error.
Well, Milborough sets the line out. Putting the ball in is Cody Hoole for Glenwood. And that's gone over the top, but it's been sucked in at the back there by Sisley Hedebi. And they go towards the line, brought down just a couple of metres short, which comes through the legs of the scrum half, taken by that man Hedebi. Just short, trying to peel around the short side. Keeping it amongst the forwards, and the referee says held up, I think.
Held up over the line.
Yep.
So Glenwood's ball. Glenwood deciding to go route one early with the pick and goes, testing the fringes of the Michaelhouse defence in the A's, B's and C's. As you see them right hugging the touchline, but not afraid to go for the pick and go. Ooh, very close there is that man.
Yep, it was very close, but I think the ref's got that one right. And so it'll be Glenwood with the feed. Christian Else, who went to Grant Como a week, he gets the wraparound ball. Well, it opened up there. He could have straightened the line himself. Instead, Michaelhouse spreading out along their own goal line. And it's turnover ball. Now suddenly there's a little bit of space. The referee will bring them back. There must have been a knock on.
So
yeah, it's a penalty actually to Michaelhouse.
Interesting call there, as the Michaelhouse player did take the ball. I don't know if there was holding on, but referee adjudicating holding on. So Michaelhouse, big time play there to get out of jail. Glenwood had huge ascendancy in the scrum, but as they turned it back to the inside centre, a little bit isolated, and Michaelhouse were quick over the ball at the breakdown.
So getting it out of their own 22. And the first feed for Michaelhouse will be from Andrew Davis. He's a farm boy from Nottingham Road, went to Clifton.
Proper local product.
Yep. Lots of movement and well taken off the top there. Good jump from Gus de Villiers. Good direct rugby this from Michaelhouse. Oh, and that looked like miles offside. Well, the referee deciding the ball was out. Charge down. Could be a turnover ball here. No, Michaelhouse have got it back. Joe Price at scrum half fires the pass back, and that's the left-footed kick downfield. Well fielded there, and Glenwood will try and straighten the line. No, they're going to look for the corner. Nasty little bounce there. The kick from Devan Janssen van Rensburg. And Michaelhouse showing signs of wanting to open things up here. That's not a bad punt down the left-hand side, and you can see and hear the boys of Michaelhouse roaring it on. And that's a good charge down. Ooh. Oh, it didn't quite go to hand. Alex Vermeulen. Free run to the line if he could have caught that.
Well, it was a good kick chase from Michaelhouse. As we see here, the fullback, the fly half collects the ball back, but the kick chase is really good, so he's under pressure from all sides, right and left, changes direction to right, wastes too much time, and the 15 from Michaelhouse, Alex Vermeulen, with the charge down and almost away under the poles.
Good all-round sportsman is Alex Vermeulen, cricketer, and also plays for the soccer first team. Remember that here at Michaelhouse they play a term of each, soccer and rugby.
So Glenwood certainly had the upper hand in the first scrum, and they will be worrying for Michaelhouse. Let's see if they can reset themselves here.
Let's have a look on this side. The big frame of Patu Kanyani at Loosehead, highly rated. They reckon he's going into the SA Schools side if there is another one. And he's up against Max Ray. Now, Max Ray is there with the headband on. I said before the game, I'll tell you something interesting about Max Ray. His grandmother was Miss World in 1958.
That is interesting indeed.
Penny Coolan was her name. She married a sugarcane farmer, and she's still going strong, 81 years old. Now here go Glenwood over the halfway line. What a tap tackle that was, just as it looked as if there was a try opening up for Ryan Manuel. Taken on then by Umzameli Kuchwayo. Knocked out of the hands of the scrummy, and Michaelhouse win it back on the ground. Good play there from Jason Morby-Smith. Little box kick, that's not a bad one as it comes out of the air. Divan Janssen van Rensburg sends the ball wide to Samkelo Mjeni. He's got a little bit of space. Let's see if he's got a little bit of toe. Takes it up to the 10. Brushes off the first tackle. It's turnover ball for Michaelhouse. Referee will bring them back.
Well, some helter-skelter play there, Andy. A lot of referees saying play on. And as we see the line break from the Glenwood outside centre, cracks a hammer down, showing some toe, but Morby-Smith, dedication from the big open side flanker, and just ankle taps him to get Michaelhouse out of trouble.
Just looked as if he had no chance there, just got the toe.
Awesome to see.
Never give up. So Michaelhouse with the feed, just inside Glenwood territory. They'll have to reset. Joe Price, one of the Clifton Notties boys, is the scrum half. Recently converted from fly half is Joe. And often the thing that they take a little while to adjust to is the difference in kicking from 10 to 9.
Oh, very different from box kicking to out the hand. We saw in the second team game the Glenwood fly half had some really good old school torpedo spirals going on. You don't see those very often, but he was hoofing those things downtown. So, yep, as you say, the fly half kicking very different to scrum half.
Big shove from Glenwood. That scrum has been demobilised, but good pick up at the back by Fortune and Pofu, and he's made the ball available on the ground. So Michaelhouse looking for second phase ball here, and they get it. Price. Good crash ball in the middle. Now at fly half is Callum Porrell. Turnover ball for Glenwood. Referee says there was a knock on first, so it'll be Michaelhouse ball on the halfway line.
Glenwood 13 just shooting out of his defensive line there, which he had to do to dismantle the overlap. And the Michaelhouse 10, well, I think it might have been the 12, Garrity, doing the right thing, looking for the floating ball over the top to release his outside winger. The 13 doing just enough for Glenwood to, here's the floater. And it's the number 11, my apologies, for Glenwood doing just enough to disrupt that and stop the overlap from winger from fleeing down the touchline.
Referee just having a word with the Michaelhouse tight head, Max Ray, saying this is your responsibility, you got to hold it up. There's nowhere to hide at tight head, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, the dark arts of the tight five.
Well, they've done well to get quick ball out of that. Now it's been knocked on, but the referee says penalty against Glenwood. I fancy off the line too soon there, off the scrum I should say.
Yep, he says offsides. does the referee Kevin Wood. What will Michaelhouse do here? Touch.
Well, they've got a left-footed kicker, so should gain a little bit of distance here. There we are, 5 metres outside the 22. Good attacking platform.
A lot of the rugby so far, Andy, happening between the two 22-metre lines. No one really penetrating in each other's red zone so far.
Davis to feed for Michaelhouse. Good jump in the middle there. Nicely done by Jaden Finnamerva, the vice-captain. Driven on then by Graham Hole. He's from Zimbabwe. And there's the man who won it in the line-out, Jaden Finnamerva, putting himself around the park. Quick hands there from Alex Vermeulen. Joe Price can see the ball. He's got his hands on it. And that's gone forward into the hands of Leiron Milborough. Now the box kick, that might have been the wrong option. They were queuing up on his left-hand side. Michaelhouse with a little bit of space to move here. There's the captain of Glenwood with the tap tackle, Marcel Duprea. And when I say tap, it probably felt like a hammer. And straight out into touch on the full. So Glenwood will have the feed to the line out.
Yeah, Michaelhouse fullback there, a little bit hasty. Looking for an up and under or chip, Gary Owen type kick, and it's just gone straight out from the full.
Lots of noise coming from the far side from the boys. Now that's taken by Marcel Duprea, who then collapsed onto Michaelhouse territory, and that's turnover ball. Price gets there. Porrell through the hands, now trying to straighten the line is Cullum Geraghty. Graham Hole working hard on the ground. Turnover ball, it's taken by Uli Walker, the tight head prop. And quickly available, this is starting to look dangerous. They've got numbers on the left hand side. Dancing feet of Ryan Manuel takes them within 20 of the line. Turnover ball. Michaelhouse comes storming away through Gus de Villiers. Where did that come from? Now Price with the box kick. Oh, referee though saying that there was a man on his feet over the ball, and that is a penalty in front of the posts for Glenwood.
Yep. Interesting to see if the Glenwood player was holding his own body weight, but he was in there quickly on the jackal and doing well to gain a penalty for Michaelhouse holding on. As we see the replay here, the big number 5 from Michaelhouse trucks it up, but it's a hooker for Glenwood. In there, in a good party position, you cannot move him. Michaelhouse number 5, locked forward, holding on. And as you said, Andy, in front of the pole, so first opportunity to draw blood for Glenwood.
And their fly half, lining it up, is Leiron Milborough. There is not a breath of wind out here. There isn't a leaf fluttering from a tree.
No excuses for no running rugby then, Andy.
And no excuses for missing the kick unless nerves get in the way. This to open the scores. We're in the 13th minute. Stabs it straight and true, and Glenwood are on the board first.
Yep, textbook kick there from the Glenwood. Number 11 is added who's taking their kicks.
Fly half.
Fly half there. Milborough, textbook. Little shape from the left to right. Looks like that's a shape, but 3 points to Glenwood.
So Michaelhouse with the restart. I saw that Jaden Finnamerva was out of the blocks very early at that restart and very nearly got into fly half for Glenwood, but Glenwood still have the ball. The box kick from Christian Else. It's a really good box kick, and actually very well done by Alex Vermeulen. He didn't panic. Got it in field to set the next phase. Here he is, floating one over the top. Now it's taken by Cullum Geraghty. Takes it over the halfway line. Out from Vermeulen. Loose head prop is Scott Kirk. Porrell running himself into a blind alley. Gets the pass away, and a little bit of a hospital pass. Geraghty did well with it. Now Price into space. That's not a bad kick. Sitting up for Divan Janssen van Rensburg. He sends it back with a little bit of interest. Michaelhouse will look to run this, I'm sure. There's a big phalanx of Glenwood defenders looking to suck a few of those men in. And now they'll keep it amongst the forwards. There's a couple of big fellas standing in the loose there. That's Scott Kirk going to ground. Now out wide, Aya Zakwe getting involved. Little pop pass for Gus de Villiers. Big hit from Uli Walker. Whole Price is swamped. Must be careful not to give a penalty away on the ground in that situation. He's done well. And the referee will bring them back for forward pass.
Well, huge pressure there from the Glenwood defence. Big collisions and big contact, and they hit the counter ruck, as we can see in the replay here, at the perfect time. Maybe not really on his feet, but a huge counter ruck puts the scrum off under pressure. Michaelhouse end up going backwards and then end up throwing a forward pass. So that's definitely a moral victory for Glenwood in that circumstance, and have a scrum feed just outside the 22. They've got the power in the scrums, so Glenwood will be licking their lips now, Andy.
Well, we're in the 16th minute, 3-0 to Glenwood. And there's a good battle going on with these two sets of front rows. As you say, Glenwood are winning the battle at the moment. Will they win the war?
Well, lovely to see a set piece. We've got the Glenwood backline shaped up for some kind of attack. They've got their blindside winger who's come across. Well, sorry, the blindside winger number 14. Is he going to run a dummy line? Is he going to crash the ball up? That's one thing we love about scrums, Andy, is that there's no forwards in the back in the defensive line. So it's a 1 versus 1 in the backs. Lovely to see.
Huge shove, but penalty, slipping the bind against the loosehead, Patu Khanyane. And Michaelhouse will clear their line. Well, referee Kevin Wood was very sure of himself there. And that's a good kick, taking play up to the halfway line.
Yep, lovely distance on that. As we see the replay, we won't be able to see it on this side, but he's blown the Glenwood.
Has he gone tight head side there?
Yeah, the Glenwood tight head, slipping the blind. Michaelhouse securing the line out.
And taking it up as far as the halfway line. Price. Big hit coming in on Jaden van der Merwe. I see a Glenwood boy lying prone as Vermeulen gets it for Michaelhouse. He is swamped. He's done well to make it available. And here's van der Merwe again, really putting himself about. Now they'll have to go round the prone player. Zakwe is wrapped up in a tackle by Samkelo Mjeni.
Yeah, it's just a poor pass there. The overlap was on and you pass behind your player and he killed the entire overlap for Michaelhouse.
So they're back where they were from the line out. And the referee, I think, is a little concerned about the injury. So he's bringing play to a stop there. Not sure who that is. Might be Zamaleli Kutswayo.
Well, Kutswayo was down here there, as you say, prone. Luckily, he's got up. He sat up, which is good to see. Hopefully, he's okay. He's had a busy start to this half, so Glenn will certainly be hoping he gets on his feet.
Yeah, confirmation. That is Kutswayo. Well, there's a lovely shot for you, seeing the vapor trails in the sky. Sun's going down, so it'll get cold quite quickly. But right now, absolutely perfect conditions. Andrew Duncan sat alongside me in shorts. And that doesn't mean he's a Midlands farmer.
It was a bit warmer down there in Hilton.
Doesn't own a long pair of trousers.
It's a bit warmer down in Hilton, just a bit slightly down the N3.
But it's probably raining. It's normally raining in Hilton. Coming up to the end of the 19th minute. Clock will continue, even though there is an injury in schools rugby. And now I see boys running on with drinks. So, yeah, I wonder whether that's a dislocated shoulder, the way that he was sitting up earlier. They've got it tied up.
Well, that'll be a big loss for Glenwood.
Coming on is number 20, Ryan Jensen van Rensburg. Good applause from the boys as Kuzwayo leaves the field. And we'll restart with a scrum down just inside Michaelhouse territory.
Well, certainly Glenwood have been penalised quite a bit in the first 15 minutes of this game. So they'll look to sharpen up on their discipline at scrum time and around the ruck.
Joe Price with the feed backwards, go Michaelhouse. Absolutely nothing they can do with that. And the referee will reset.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a long day at the office for the Michaelhouse tight five there, Andy.
Well, it's all about angles from here. When you're up against a much bigger man, you've got to find a way. You can't just run up the white flag.
Absolutely. There's many tricks in the trade of the front row in the locks.
There's a new book just come out called This Is Your Everest, which is about the 1997 British Lions tour to South Africa. And they made the point that in the first test, the Lions front row was about 5 stone a man lighter than the Springboks, but they gave nothing.
Okay. I remember that series quite well.
Josh Samuels doing well under pressure. And the ball coming off the park from a Glenwood foot. They will come back, though, for that knock forward by Michaelhouse.
Well, Glenwood won't mind this at all. Scrum time again. Certainly have the ascendancy in this part of the set piece. However, as you know, Andy, in schoolboy rugby, you can only go forward 1.5 meters. So that does limit the damage that they can do somewhat.
So Christian Ells putting the ball in for Glenwood. He'll be off to the Sharks after Matrick. Whoops-a-daisy. The referee says that didn't go forward from Tyler van Wyk. Not sure he was correct. Now driven on by the captain, Marcel Dupree. Milborough with the chip through, and it's well gathered. The referee says offside against the back line of Michaelhouse. Wonder whether they might think about a kick at goal here in what's a very attritional match.
Well, they didn't waste any time in signalling to the posts. Not an easy kick. Just on the 15-meter line on the right-hand touch line, about 30 meters out. He should easily have the distance up here in the Midlands.
Yeah, so this is Leighron Milborough. He's responsible for the only points of the match. A penalty in the 12th minute. And if you're just joining us on the various channels, the second team game finished 17-7 in favour of Michaelhouse. The under-16As was Michaelhouse 19, Glenwood 22. So all the signs that this is going to be a really close game.
Absolutely. It's a war of attrition out there. And these 3 points are going to be vital.
Let's see whether Milborough can knock this over from the angle. It's a good-looking strike. Yeah, he's got it. He looks like he's a little bit of a dead-eye Dick, does this lad.
His radar's on song, is Milborough's. Glenwood will need to secure this kickoff. Both the kickoffs have been shaky. They'll want to secure this and boot this thing right back into Michaelhouse's half.
Remember, 35 minutes aside in the first team contests. So plenty of time left in this half and this match. This is Else. Finds a good touch.
Yep, better restart from Glenwood. Michaelhouse opting to go deep off that restart. I don't know if I would have done that. But Glenwood with the right idea, catch and release, kick it out, get your defense organized.
Referee wants to make sure there's a gap between the two sides. Andrew Davis with the feed for Michaelhouse. Nicely won there by Jason Morby-Smith. That's a good strong drive as well from Graham Hole. Now it's the big loosehead Scott Kirk, whose parents hail from the Bahamas. Outside centre is Aya Zakwe. Good stuff from him. His brother played for Michaelhouse first 2 years ago. Oh, that player on the ground, Kirk, just getting himself a little isolated. Michaelhouse still with possession. Through the hands of Vermeulen, standing in the fly half channel. Geraghty with a little snap kick through. Michaelhouse come piling in to the Glenwood ball carrier. Deep inside Glenwood's 22. The box kick from Else. And it's a really good one. That's a super kick.
Absolutely. Else calm under pressure. Awesome box kick. Glenwood managing to weather the storm there from the Michaelhouse attack. Michaelhouse launching attack through the back line and just putting on the boot. Left boot is a nicely weighted grabber, but the Glenwood fullback managing to stay calm.
Nice throw that, straight down the middle. Oh, and gone forward with no real justification for knocking it on there. That was Graham Hole.
And just like that, Glenwood have a scrum almost on the halfway line from serious Michaelhouse pressure and ascendancy in the 22.
Another Glenwood player receiving treatment off your screen. And Christian Else is bringing the referee's attention to that.
Looks like Divan Janssen van Rensburg, the fullback.
Yeah, it is. He's going to try and run it off by the looks of it. Hobbling towards us on one leg. What you can do when you're 18. So that angle really gives you an impression of the size of this Glenwood pack. Some well-fed boys in there. Now the back row move has gone wrong, and Else was nearly scragged, but he got it away, and there's still chances here for Glenwood as it comes out to Rico Heath. Eighth man is Tyler van Veek. He leaves it for Else. Milbro through the hands, just a little bit static in the back line. That was one of the forwards getting in the way. Now they come the other way. Van Veek is brought to ground with a good low tackle. Floating one out there and a dangerous pass. Here's Milbro. Gives it to the charging Patu Khanyane.
Oh.
Look at this man go. He still hasn't actually been tackled. Khanyane gets it within a metre of the line. It's a brilliant run from the loose head. There's options all over the field here for Glenwood. They opt to just go straight through the middle, and that might have been the wrong one. Now the whistle goes, turnover ball, and you have to say, from our angle, they've put one in the bin there.
Oh, barnstorming run from Ganyane. Huge handoff, doesn't even look for support, gives the big fend. Not held in the tackle, good appreciation of the laws, gets up and goes forward again. Oh, what a run from the big man, the big loose head prop. As you said, Andy, had options for days on the right and left, huge overlap on the right, possibly a breakdown in communication, but they won't mind this. Another scrum.
Well, I'm going to say that Michaelhouse front row have got to scrum as if their lives depended upon it here. The referee says the ball was available, so lets them play on, and there's space for Jason McKaylee. McKaylee is brought down by a double tackle, and the referee has given a penalty.
Oh, was that a leading forearm there?
Oh, we might see a card here. The referee is not at all happy.
Calling for the first aid. Lovely to see the Michaelhouse boys running it from deep, Andy. Michaelhouse known for their running rugby, not scared to run. They did have advantage, so it was kind of a free play, but not scared to run it from their own in-goal area. And as you see, the big winger running here, looks like it was perhaps a leading forearm. Oh, it's a clash of heads. Number 20, the replacement flanker, just getting his head on the wrong side of the tackle, and it can be very dangerous in terms of concussions.
Yeah, quite right. And the replay showed us everything there. That Jason McKaylee did absolutely nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
He was protecting the ball. Man drove into him, and the injured man actually came from the other side.
Absolutely. Referee Kevin Wood doing the right thing from a player safety point of view. Just stopping the game, making sure the man's okay.
Now that's effectively the ding-dong test going on here. Let's have another look at it. This is a different angle.
Yeah, you see the winger powering down the touchline. Number 20 just gets his head on the wrong side of the tackle.
The good news is, you saw from that replay, he wasn't knocked out cold. He went straight to his head. He knew he'd been hurt. So these days the doctors will look long and hard before they allow a player to continue in these circumstances. This is the replacement, Ryan Janssen van Rensburg, who came on for Umzamaleli Kutswayo. So it would be a bit of a problem for Michaelhouse, for Glenwood, if he has to go off, and it looks like that's what's happening. So Ryan Janssen van Rensburg off. We'll have to wait and see who comes on in his place. Yeah, the ambulance people are wanting him to come and have a sit down.
Well, two barnstorming runs from both teams. Glenwood's number 1, Patu Ganyane, with the first one, and Michaelhouse's Jason McKaylee with the second one. Lovely to see players, schoolboy rugby, running in full flight.
I love to see as well that Joe Price is obviously a fan of Faf du Plessis. He's got that little spin of the ball. He's trying to work it on the one finger like Faf can do it. Now here comes the replacement then. Number 19 is Jason Viviers, according to my list, but I'm not sure if that is Jason Viviers. So this has been a real difficult area for Michaelhouse. Can they get clean ball? They can on this occasion. Now trying to work the short side. Strong drive there from Fenemerva. Now the box kick from Price. Didn't quite get enough height on it. There's a bit of space there for Umyeni. He's scragged though by his opposite number, McKaylee.
Michaelhouse boys all off their feet at the ruck.
Referee's playing that penalty advantage just outside the Glenwood 22, and they will have that advantage now.
Silly error from the Michaelhouse boys, because it was an awesome box kick with putting Glenwood under pressure and an opportunity to counter ruck nicely. Instead of counter-rucking, they're all flying off their feet and just give a free play to Glenwood for the penalty. Couple of handbags going on there, Andy.
Yeah, it looks like it's been advanced by 10 meters as a result of that, and touch being found just short of halfway.
Lovely technical kick, outside in, as he was close to the touchline, so managed to gain some good meters from that.
Less than 2 minutes left in this first half, and that's been snatched by Andrew Davis for Michaelhouse. Makes it available. Price with the pass. Good hands there from the forwards. Here's Vermeulen, lovely swerve, gets the pass away to Josh Samuels. Samuels back on the inside, finding Zakwe. Lovely drive there from Samuels as he joined the ruck. Penalty to Michaelhouse, not releasing the man on the ground.
No, so there's a one before that, Andy. It's a late hit on the Michaelhouse fullback from Vermeulen after he came around in the double loop. A little spear tackle, late hit in the background.
Thank you. Takes play to the 22. This should be the last play of the half. Can Michaelhouse put points on the board?
Well, it's a big moment in the game. If Michaelhouse haven't been down here much, if Michaelhouse can come away with even 3 points now, it'll be a huge boost for them going to the second half. And on the flip side, if Glenwood can keep them at bay, it'll be another confidence booster for them. So a lot at stake in this last play.
Good jump in the line out from Jaden van der Merwe. Michaelhouse trying to keep that maul going forward, and they're doing a good job of it as well. Yeah, there's Glenwood boys swimming there. They must beware. Oh, well, referee saw it the other way. He said that that was held up and that therefore it was turnover ball. There's an old-fashioned look from Andrew Davis to the referee, but he keeps a civil tongue in his head.
Yeah, Michaelhouse just peeled away. I think they broke that maul off, which allowed Glenwood to come in there and hold it up. If they'd stayed connected, it could have been in more trouble for Glenwood.
So we are in injury time at the end of the first half. 2 penalties for Glenwood separating the sides at this stage. And Glenwood looking to run it out through Joandre van der Walt. Great height on that kick from Else, and brilliantly taken out of the air by Geraghty.
Glenwood are making life extremely difficult for Michaelhouse with their counter-racking ability. Almost every ruck they're giving them a go.
Now, can they make an overlap here? Vermeulen sending it out to Geraghty. He takes it up to the 10. Glenwood making their tackles though, making them count. And they haven't lost their shape in defence, importantly. Here's Price. Out to Porrell.
Ooh, big hit.
But they managed to retain possession. This is Ayazakwe. Look at the feet. Yeah, it's gone forward now. That should be the end of the half. We'll have to wait for the referee to make that decision. Looks like he's happy to continue. So I can only imagine that he did stop the clock at that injury.
He must have, because
probably forgetting that he was on telly.
Forgetting the scoreboard on Meadows is up on 0, and on the TV we're running into overtime, so I'm sure this must be the last play. But Glenwood not scared to run it, even though the half is virtually up.
Well, you can see the fatigue starting to creep in the tight 5 for Michaelhouse, and I wonder whether they'll make some changes at the start of the second half. Possibly not, because the second team is the bench, and they've already played 50 minutes of hard rugby.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Penalty.
This is huge. What do you do here, Andy, with the boot that the Fly has shown for Glenwood so far? This could be a gift.
I don't think it's a gift. It's just inside Michaelhouse territory, and this is a big kick. Milborough, I reckon he's on the edge of his... yeah, he's going for the line out.
The man knows his range.
But he has obviously got an educated boot. Just see the way he hits a rugby ball. And now Glenwood are looking to parlay a line out into a 7-pointer. Shortened line. Man in the middle is... Oh, it's one back by Michaelhouse. Now, what are they going to do from here? Oh, no, it's not knocked on. It is half-time. Right. Half-time it is. We're a couple of minutes late thanks to an injury. But at half-time, just those 2 penalties from Leighton Milborough, the fly half for Glenwood, separating these two sides. You feel that Glenwood are the stronger side, but the Michaelhouse are really a well-conditioned side, and you might just find that they're the stronger team in the final quarter. So at this point, very difficult to pick a winner. Michaelhouse 0, Glenwood 6.
Sometimes when I come home, I wonder what I would say to my younger self. Maybe I would say, ungenayonga yona kid inhle okanye ibhadlileyo. Ndakubona intwana ezimiseleyo. Kodwa qina, qhubeka ufunda, qhubeka udlala, qhubeka ukholelwa. Ngenye imini ukukhanya kuzokufumana.
Nakulukhanya am. Magnific.
Welcome back. Second half about to get underway. Michaelhouse trailing Glenwood in this first team contest by 6 points to 0, but everything to play for in this second half. 2 penalties from Leyland Milborough dividing the sides, and in the second half it'll be Michaelhouse playing from right to left on your screens. In the background there you'll see Warriors Walk. Those trees were planted in commemoration of the 54 Michaelhouse boys who died in the Great War. Losing their leaves now as winter approaches here in the KZN Midlands, but it is a glorious day, not a breath of wind. I'd say that the temperature is still in the early 20s, even with the sun going down, so perfect conditions for running rugby. Let's have a look at just a few moments of incident in the first half. How about that for a tap tackle? That was Jason Morby-Smith, who never gave up on Ryan Manuel. And now this is probably the great moment of the game. Andrew Duncan alongside me. You enjoyed this.
Totally. The big loose head prop from Glenwood, Patu Ganyane, with a busting straight line, good 40-meter dash with a huge fend off as well. Well, it's a real test match on our hands here, Andy. Only separated by 2 penalties, 6-0. Could be a game of 2 halves. Let's wait and see.
Alex Vermeulen gets play underway in this second half, and Glenwood through their scrum half, Christian Else, getting it back into Michaelhouse territory. So Vermeulen sending it infield. Oh, lovely show of the ball from Price. He's hauled down on the halfway. In comes Porrell at scrum half. Through the hands it goes, but straight onto the boot of Glenwood's Samkelo Mjeni. Mjeni gets back to his feet straight away. May have won a penalty there. The referee's happy.
I think Mieni lucky not to give a penalty away from diving straight on the player on the ground.
Porrell has not found enough angle there, but the referee says that there was a lazy bit of running from Glenwood, and penalty goes the way of Michaelhouse.
Well, yeah, I think maybe a little bit of justice from the original one where Mieni dived on the player on the ball. You're not allowed to dive on the player on the ground. But alas, a penalty regardless. And Michaelhouse looking to clear.
And that's Vermeulen finding touch on halfway. Looks a good, confident player, does Alex Vermeulen. Big shoes to fill, of course. Pat Lambie had the number 15 jersey here at Michaelhouse for a couple of seasons in the 2010s. Tail ball is won by Morby Smith. Now Geraghty sending it wide, looking as if his left hand isn't his best. Hasn't gone forward, says the referee. Zakwe does well, and now it has gone forward.
Just a bit unfortunate on that pass from the Michaelhouse 12 Geraghty. I thought it was a fairly decently weighted ball, and it just needed someone to run straight onto it. That kind of, both the players on the outside were not sure whose it was for.
After you, Claude.
Exactly.
That's what schoolboy rugby is all about. One day, ladies and gentlemen, when all of this is over, beat a path to the Meadows and watch a game of rugby here. I feel very privileged to be here. Christian Else just asking what the move is at scrum half for Glenwood. Referee not happy. So we're not aware of any changes for either side at half time. Glenwood certainly had the upper hand in the scrum for most of the first half, but things can change.
Yep, fatigue can set in, conditioning can play its part. Short arm.
Early engagement from Michaelhouse there brings the short arm, and Glenwood running with the ball, but then putting it on the boot. Vermeulen has all the time in the world, well positioned. So he with the tap and looking for touch. That's a big, big kick. Well done. Great kick.
Yeah, a little bit of a nothing kick from Glenwood, just poking it down the throat of the fullback.
That's a coach killer, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now it's a Glenwood line out in their own half, and Michaelhouse can contest.
Cody Houle with the throw. Yeah, Michaelhouse have actually contested very well on the Glenwood throw. This time it's a variation. Did it go 5? Referee says yes. Charge down, so it won't be a knock on. It'll be a line out.
It's a good interplay from the 2 and the 9 from Glenwood. Nice variation at line out time as well, just keeping the Michaelhouse forwards guessing in line out time. Number 5 for Glenwood, the big lock controlling the lineouts.
And that's a great jump from Morby Smith. I beg your pardon, from Gus de Villiers. That's come off the boot, so he's okay. He's regathered the ball as Jaden Finnamerva. Wasn't a great pass. Now it comes out from Fortune and Pofu. And that's a great drive as Michaelhouse take it to the halfway line. Price with the pass. Good service off his left hand. Ooh. Now that's gone forward as Ryan Manuel looked for the intercept. Wasn't a bad call, but they were all offside. So Michaelhouse with the penalty in the middle of the park. This is where you take a scrum if you're happy with your 8. Gives you so many options, but House aren't going to do that. Vermeulen strokes it into touch. One of those individuals who just looks as if he was born to play a ball game.
Yeah, beautiful kick. That's 2-3 good kicks in a row from the Michaelhouse talisman. They'll be happy with this position. Michaelhouse line-out's going really well. Not so much for Glenwood. And as we saw, they had that formidable maul at the end of the first half. So will they look to do that again? I would if I was them.
Gus de Villiers takes it off the top. There's a little peel around from Scott Kirk. Just inside the 22. Options either side. Great counter ruck from Glenwood. Michaelhouse have still got it though. Taking it forward is Ayazakwe. Now it's taken on by Jaden Funamerva. Turnover ball. Number 19 is Jason Viviers. And Glenwood come piling in, seeing the opportunity to get out of danger. And the ball squirting through Christian Else's legs and into touch, and that's the biggest cry of the day from the crowd of boys on the far side.
Awarding it to Glenwood as a knock-on, I think. Michaelhouse just knocked that forward into touch. So Glenwood will be happy with that one. This Glenwood side looking really physical, especially in defense. Big hits, holding the Michaelhouse guys up.
Nice gentle bind. And great ball to work with for Glenwood. Michaelhouse coming up a little bit early. There's some space now. And that's not a great pass from Devan Janssen van Rensburg and putting all sorts of pressure on Samkelo Mjeni. So Michaelhouse will have the feed. The referee will bring them back for a penalty for a high tackle.
Yeah, I thought Glenwood could have done a little bit better there. They generated a serious overlap with a good set move off the scrum, but a little bit of sideways running from their backs just put the Glenwood wing under a little bit of pressure. He did well to stay in touch, in field, and actually generated a penalty from a high tackle. So if they could have been a little bit more clinical, that could have been 5 points for them.
Saw our camera lady on the line there. She's the one giving you this shot. Taken at the tail of the line by Hadebi. Coming up at pace was Viviers. Now coming out from Else. They've got extra men wide here. It's Ryan Manuel who takes it over the 22. Michaelhouse have done well to get men wide now. Here's the big fellow, Patu Khanyane. Now Milborough, that's an interesting kick. It's floated out on the full.
I think that's the wrong option there from Milborough. It's the number 14 from Glenwood. Mjeni was marked anyway. There wasn't space in there for him, and he overcooked it. I think Glenwood could have kept it in hands for a bit longer.
But Michaelhouse winning the ball and taking it up to their own 22-metre line. Now back from Price. This is Porrell. In fact, that's Vermeulen sending it downtown. Janssen van Rensburg. Glenwood looking to get men in position before passing the ball. And then the stab kick through from Rick O'Heath. Glenwood are crying that the referee has got that one horribly wrong.
I'm not too sure. Are they appealing for a high tackle on the
I'm not
player?
sure. I know everybody went up simultaneously.
Yeah, we see the replay. Looking to the boot, he chases hard.
Well, there's the high
tackle. Seatbelt tackle, yeah. Possibly a penalty, I would say. Referee Kevin Wood consulting his AR. Just letting him know that it was around the shoulder area. Simply just a penalty, I would say. And
he's making sure that both captains know what's going on out there. So Alex Vermeulen has his hands on the ball for Michaelhouse, and it is confirmation that it's for the high tackle. And Vermeulen finding touch just inside Glenwood territory. In fact, just inside his own territory. So 45 minutes gone now, a quarter of the game remaining, and this is where it's going to be won and lost.
Just both teams encroaching on the line. Lovely camera angle for the line out.
Taken by Morby Smith off the top. And a strong drive. Just short of halfway. Price giving the pass. Now, did that player come from an onside position? That was Uli Walker. Seemed like he was part of the ruck. Still play continues. Porrell. That's a cleverly placed kick, but beautifully taken by Janssen van Rensburg. Oh, it's a smother tackle. I think that was Fortune and Pofu who got in there. And Glenwood are under pressure, even though they've got the ball. There goes the chicken wing. Just short of the 10 now. And Else puts one up for everybody to chase. And it's been won by Glenwood. That's great work there. And finally in touch is Rico Heath.
Well, yeah, some exciting play there. Devon Janssen van Rensburg looked like he was going to bust through on the counter-attack, doing really well, running some good lines, but smothered in the tackle. Gave Michaelhouse some good. Here we see the replay here. Lovely hit. Huge hit by the big 8th man from Michaelhouse. Got their tails up, and Glenwood a little bit under pressure there, but did well to get out of that scenario and weathered the storm.
Now, can Michaelhouse create something? They've done well at stopping Glenwood. That's an easy charge down. Back from Porrell to Vermeulen. Yeah, there's nobody down that side, but I'm not seeing anybody chasing after this ball. I wonder whether Michaelhouse have just hit the wall a little bit. Lots of time for Glenwood to play. Oof. And also a little bit of an aimless kick. Now, Michaelhouse being urged to carry the ball, and that's what they're doing.
I think Glenwood are lucky that Michaelhouse let that one bounce. Good hands on the blind side.
Taken then by Jason McKellar. Now they're starting to build a little bit of momentum. Porrell giving it to Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe a little bit upright in the tackle, but did well. Made those extra meters. And the penalty goes the way of Michaelhouse.
Offside again is the call. Number of offside penalties against Glenwood. To watch their line speed. It's a tight angle, but this number 15 for Michaelhouse, Alex Vermeulen, seems to have an educated boot there, Andy.
Yep, just puts that little bit of fade on the ball with the left foot. He takes play up to the 22. And you feel with about 12 minutes to go that this is the game round about here. If Michaelhouse are going to win, they need to score. So Davis with the feed. Taken by Van der Merwe. No real width for the Michaelhouse backs. It's Geraghty who takes it over the gain line. Price digs it out. Now this is Scott Kirk. Good field position, but they need a bit more width. Here's Van der Merwe again. He's been a very willing ball carrier. I'm told that he acted in a movie a few years ago, and the money he earned from that paid for him to come to Michaelhouse. Oh, the whistle has gone, and it's for a knock-on. Oh, it's been turned into a penalty.
Definite penalty there. The Glenwood guys getting a little bit too eager, taking out the scrum half. Twice have done that. The first time they got away with it, second time not so much.
Well, decision to be made, and that decision is a line out.
See, there's a substitution for Michaelhouse. Number 20, Hechter, is on the field for what looks like number 4, Graham Hall.
He played in the second team game, of course. But he's only got about 10 or 11 minutes to play, so he should be able to get through that. Now, crucial line out. Ooh, it's not straight.
Critical error for the Michaelhouse hooker. The line out's been on song the entire day when it really counted on the 5-meter line. And Glenwood won't mind a little scrum for that.
Yeah, in fact, they'll be very happy to slow the game down because the momentum has been with the home side. You'll see from the replay how far not straight that is, because you've got a line showing you.
Yeah, 6 points of difference. Glenwood will certainly want to get one more penalty on board, or a try, just to get that 7-point buffer.
Well, it looks like they stood up in the front row there. Referee will reset. Can see a certain amount of exhaustion on the faces, and also see Patu Khanyane really urging his troops.
Yeah, just wheeling around through the 90, so a reset. Oh, an early shove again from Michaelhouse.
I can see a free kick coming here.
You've got to try some tactics. Early shove, get an early hit on, so...
I like this battle between Uli Walker on the left and Scott Kirk on the right. Scott's a shorter man, but I quite like his technique.
Absolutely.
Now they all go down. Referee allows play to continue, and this is Rico Heath. He's in touch. So, although it didn't look very pretty, the Michaelhouse forwards did their job there, and they've won the line out. Last time they had one, they got it wrong. Let's see if they get it right this time.
Yeah, Michaelhouse with their home crowd cheering in the background, look like their tails are a little bit up.
Davis with the feed. This time Van der Merwe gets to it, and then it's taken by Jason Morby-Smith. Price finding that man Kirk. She is low to the ground, difficult man to stop. Now it's taken on by the hooker Davis. Van der Merwe. Look at the determination of Van der Merwe, taking a couple of players to bring him down. Now this is Fortune Mpofu. The crowd saw something there. I have to say I didn't. Now, a good bit of momentum for Gus de Villiers there as he took the ball on the fly. Here's Hector. Price looking for an option. Vermeulen has come on the short side. Can he get the ball back? No, but Michaelhouse have done so.
Playing an advantage on Michaelhouse, that's why he went for the stab.
They still fancy the short side here. Price has a go himself. Here's Kirk. Now Vermeulen and Van der Merwe. Referee will bring them back. Penalty. There's still time in this game.
Interesting call here for the captain. It's right out in front.
Yeah.
Do you try to take the points? Get on the board? Yep, quickly indicated going for poles. I think that's probably the right call. As you say, Andy, still 19 minutes to go, plenty of time. And Michaelhouse will certainly want to get some reward for their efforts so far in this game. It's been 54 minutes, they haven't got anything on the board yet. This will surely be 3 points for the educated boot of the Michaelhouse fullback.
You've heard of the commentator's curse, haven't you?
This man's boot's too educated.
So the tee is coming on for Vermeulen. And this is to break the duck for Michaelhouse. And the benefit of knocking this over is that the opposition then have to kick the ball back to you. Yeah, no problem at all. So it's 6-3 with 15 minutes remaining. We said early on, Andrew, that this was going to be a tight one, and there's no reason to change the estimation.
What a test match on our hands here. Love it.
And here the Michaelhouse boys going mad on the far side of the field. The restart coming from Milborough. taken in by Morby Smith. Well, there's a lot of players looking very offside from Glenwood, but referee allows play to continue. Here's Fortune Mpofu busting a couple of tackles. Just get the feeling that Michaelhouse might be the fitter of the two sides, but advantage goes the way of Glenwood. Let's see whether they can move this ball. No, they're going for the drop goal. Well, I suppose they knew that they had a penalty, and this will probably be a goal kick now from Leyron Milborough.
This is in his range, but not an easy kick. Decision time for Glenwood. Regardless, 3 points for them will not be enough to have a 7-point buffer. So a big conversation, big meeting going on between the Glenwood leaders. Yep. Polls is the option.
It is indeed. So I was mentioning that that book about the Lions tour in '97. Neil Jenkins, who played fullback for the Lions, was the difference between the two sides. He kicked all of his goals and South Africa didn't kick theirs. And Neil Jenkins talks about in the book, what is it like when it's just you and the ball and a match to win? And he was saying he always went away in his mind to his training field. Wherever he was in the world, didn't matter whether he was at Eden Park in Auckland or at Ellis Park in Johannesburg, he was on the training field knocking balls over. And he said he used to pick somebody sat in a seat in the middle of the uprights and aim it at them.
Wow.
And more often than not, Neil Jenkins knocked it over.
Well, Neil Jenkins, world-class Wales fly half and fullback.
That book, incidentally, is This Is Your Everest. Look for it on Amazon. I'm going to review it on cover to cover for SuperSport. It's a cracker. It's a really good read. So this is Milborough to stretch that lead back to 6 points. It's a good-looking strike, and it is wide. It's taken quickly by Michaelhouse. They're trying to run out from their own line. Will they regret it? Now there's nothing to do but put it on the boot, but it's a good boot from Vermeulen. So Glenwood will have the feed to the line-outs.
Yeah, look, it wasn't an easy kick for Milborough, but he didn't get the cleanest of strikes, so wouldn't be happy with that. But the nice thing about going for poles that you generally get the ball back, whether through a 22 or from running it out, and they've got a line-out set piece here.
Taken by Marcel Dupré, the captain of Glenwood. Else sending it out. Big hit coming in on Sishle Khadebi. Milborough sending it, and the knock on there. Referee was playing advantage. He's bringing them back. Another penalty.
Playing the man in the air, I think. Yeah, bringing the jumper down in the air. True.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again, because I know that the Michaelhouse player went for the ball. Did he then hang on the way down? That'll be the interest. So Milborough has got another shot at goal. Sun going down behind us. It's still illuminating the fields leading up to the beef farms on the top. And we're waiting for the kicking tee. And let's have a look. So watch them go in the air. I really can't see that is pulling the man down.
Perhaps a little bit unfortunate. Other Michaelhouse.
I would have said that's almost a classic video to show what you can do when it's not your ball.
Well, Milborough teeing it up.
On the hour. You can hear a pin drop at the Meadows. Michaelhouse boys on the far side have all come down onto the edge of the field. They're crouching. Milborough's kick looks good. It is good.
What a response from Milborough. That kick was never missing. Straight to the uprights, raises the flags. 6-point lead for Glenwood, but again, that 6-point buffer. Man, oh man, we're in for an interesting finish here, Andy.
So the restart from Vermeulen goes deep. Michaelhouse chasing after it. Taken by Vermeulen. Needs to keep his head up and look for support. He's lost the ball, and Glenwood bring it forward. Advantage for knock-on, I think, being played as Else sends it. Good little one-handed offload. Glenwood look as if they've got their shape back after 10 minutes where they were really under pressure. That's a great offload. Starting to play their game now, the Green Machine. Keeping the ball alive through the tackle. Dupria, Milborough. Now it's Cody Houle. Else looks for space. That's a super kick from the scrummy. Vermeulen is all on his own and does well. That ball is not in touch. There's nobody back. Ghosting across comes Devan Janssen van Rensburg. He gives it to Milborough. Milborough is under pressure. Michaelhouse piling forward here. Oh, that's a super get off the bus handoff. Throws the ball on the inside. This is Ryan Manuel. Now Glenwood really attacking with purpose. Going straight down the middle is Dupria. Throws the Hail Mary pass, and it's turnover ball. Referee, though, is going to bring them back for a penalty, and I see a flag out.
Crucial
from
play.
The touch judge.
Crucial. It's in front of the sticks. This is going to give Glenwood the buffer. Surely going for poles, but what a barnstorming run from the number 14. Samkelo Umyeni. He's had a busting game.
It may just be turned over here.
Wow, assistant referee coming to consult. The Michaelhouse players were all trundling back to try and get on sides.
No, this might be a card. Referee is asking for the captain.
Umyeni is strong on his feet with a big fend. He does well to hold the ball up to his outside centre. He does well to stay on his feet, and watch Umyeni come with a big clean out here just to secure the ball. Michaelhouse defence in 6s and 7s as they scramble, and the number 5 lock throws. There's a tip tackle we saw.
Yeah, spear tackle, but it's nothing more than a penalty in front of the post. Nothing more, but this will probably put Glenwood out of touch.
These are the moments in these games. Big match temperament required for Milborough. He's got 3 out of 4 so far.
Yeah, he likes it, picks up the kicking tee straight away. And at one stage, at 6-3 after 55 minutes, this game was right on a knife edge. But I feel now that Glenwood might just have done enough. 6 minutes left, and they lead by 9.
Yep, that 9-point buffer could be a bridge too far for Michaelhouse, but there's still 6 minutes to go.
Restart from Vermeulen. Here's Milborough.
Yeah, that's well done under pressure.
Oh, what a pickup off his toes there from Vermeulen. Now it's taken by Hector. This is great stuff from Glenwood, heading for the corner. Ayazakwe, he's held up on the 22. There's a Glenwood player who must keep his hands away. This is Scott Kirk, driving his way back up to the 22. They've got numbers on the right-hand side of Michaelhouse. This is Jason Morby-Smith. Price at scrum half, keeping everybody in the right place. Taken up by Hector. Here's Davis. Just crabbing along the 22 at the moment. Somebody needs to straighten the line. It's turnover ball. And there's space on the left-hand side for Rico Heath. Here he goes. Great pass on the inside as Glenwood take it over the halfway line. And that's been scragged by the last line of defence for Michaelhouse. Fisher. That's Fisher in the 22 jersey. Advantage being played.
Oh. Oof.
Has it gone forward? Referee will bring them back for the penalty.
Michaelhouse looking to go coast to coast with 4 minutes left. They're going to have to boot it downtown here and gain some. They're going to have to chew off a few extra meters with this educated boot.
I see that cramp has set in for one of the Glenwood players, not surprising. And play will go up to the Glenwood 10. That young man, Ryan Manuel, he looks like a real contender when he's got ball in hand.
Absolutely, yeah. Manuel, the outside centre, and Mnyeni on the right wing has been absolutely mainline for Glenwood.
Van der Merwe off the top, taken on by Hector. A little slide through, but it's well fielded. And look at the dancing feet of Mnyeni. Glenwood finishing strong now. Looking much closer to the green machine that we've come to expect. This is Hadebi, taken now by Patu Khanyane. Light is fading, and I fancy that hope is fading for Michaelhouse here. Lovely through the hands it goes. Great pass from Hadebi, taken on by Heath. And in touch just short of the Michaelhouse 22.
Yeah, Glenwood's tails are certainly up. They've been buoyed by some barnstorming runs from Mnyeni on the right-hand touchline. Him in the outside centre for Glenwood are linking up really well. And some good hands and good continuity from Glenwood. Really looking to seal this game off.
Taken off the top by Van der Merwe. He's probably been the best player on the park for Michaelhouse this afternoon. Vermeulen is brought heavily to ground. Now, the chase is on. Oh, and there's a little bit of pressure being applied. The knock-on coming from Mnyeni. Yep. Michaelhouse running out of time. We've got 2 minutes left.
Michaelhouse need to strike off the scrum. It's now or never for the men in the red and white hoops.
Easy to say when you haven't played 68 minutes of exhausting rugby.
The boys are tired.
This is when the back line starts saying, come on boys, come on.
Yep, Aidan Mason, the second team hooker, just taking the field for the last minute and a half.
Davis, who he's replaced, isn't going very far. He's standing on the touchline watching.
Nice introduction for the hooker to the Glenwood front row.
Yeah, it's all very nearly a tight head,
yeah,
but it is one back, so well done to Mason. Now the pass coming into the hands of Jason Makele. Glenwood fighting hard for the ball on the ground, illegally so.
Well, what do they do here? Same scenario as the second team game. They could knock it over and restart.
It looks like they're going to set the line out and try and score from there, but I fancy there isn't enough time left for them to score twice. Mason is in position. Referee wants a gap between the sides. And Glenwood choose this moment to make a change. It's in the back line.
Looking to run the clock down.
Yeah, one at the front. Mason is there to gather it on the ground for Michaelhouse. Can they get a consolation try here? Vermeulen has slotted in at fly half. Oh, Joe Price has had the ball taken away from him, and Glenwood come away through Dupree. He gets it out to Milborough. 10-metre line of Michaelhouse now. Working the short side as else. Looked like it went forward. It did. Penalty to Michaelhouse.
Yep. Same as we saw right at the beginning of the game. Michaelhouse player in front of the knock-on and playing the ball from the offside position. So House can still stick this one out into touch. Nope, going for the tap.
See whether the three-quarter line can produce something here. They've actually got numbers here. Van der Merwe putting it through the hands.
Yep, assistant referee signaling for a high tackle.
Just short of halfway. Good pick up on the half volley from Vermeulen. He changes the angle. Now the box kick, well, that might have been the wrong option. Else is underneath it. He's tackled. And there's a player on his feet over the ball for Michaelhouse, but Else manages to protect possession. Time is up on the stadium clock. It's getting dark, and this should be the last action of the match. It's off the park into touch, and it is all over. And Glenwood have won a game without a try by 4 kicks to 1. And that thanks to Leighton Milborough, their fly half, who kicked 4 out of 5 today. As for Michaelhouse, just the penalty from their captain, Alex Vermeulen. But I want to say straight away, before we go, Andrew, I've seen 3 games today of quality rugby.
Absolutely. Schoolboy rugby at its finest, Andy. The 69 seconds and first, they've all been tight affairs. It could have gone either way, and that's exactly what you want to see from 2 fine KZN schools.
So if this is the last game of schools rugby for a while, we hope you've enjoyed it, and we'd love to see you on the website. Go to the Supersport Zone and register on Supersport Schools. There's the final score from the Meadows here in Balgowan in the KZN Midlands. Michaelhouse 3, Glenwood 12.